Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. Child. I tried to take a nap and my phone kept going off, which ain't no problem because it was my friends. One of my garden friends and a real life friend and some emails. I'm just restless and irritable and discontent. I'm probably gonna catch. I'm gonna get up in a minute and go to this. They got an AA meeting at 4:30. I'm gonna go to. I think it's just the anticipation. So I did go see, my old boss. Walked in. Um, One of the director of nursing is my old coworker who ended up going back to school. She looking at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "January." So she like, "You got my blessing. I'm gonna support you." Um, listen. I filled out this application, and please, if somebody in here, just tell me you can hear me. So I fill out the application. Boom. I do the application. Hey Sarah. So I do the application. I'm like, yeah, let me know, tell so and so I'm here. Ask her if she want me to just submit the application and come back. She's like, nah. She's like, no, she want to see you. So then I was like, she was like, I forgot to tell her who it was. She was like, but she told me she was expecting somebody to come upstairs. Let me tell y'all, I walked upstairs. The girl like, this young lady here to see you. She was like, girl, that ain't no young lady. She ain't here for an interview. She hired, put her on the roster, gave me a hug. She like, I'll see you in the morning for orientation. I kid you not. That's exactly how I went. She was like, don't worry about the pay, none of that. Just I'll see you in the morning for orientation. So I told her what my plans were, and she was like, cool, I'll work around that. She was like, what, in the meantime, I just want you to stick around. She was like, because even if, I'm trying to pilot something else. Um, and you'll be an excellent fit for that position because you know the system, you know the policy. She was like, so yeah, so I'm PR in there. That job will actually cancel out agency because like here agency has staffing has declined because a lot of facilities, especially the facilities that's owned by like Jewish owners, they adopt to the daily pay thing. So like facilities using agency is dying out because they're paying for daily pay out of pocket. And that was the reason I have been an agency nurse for the since 2016, well actually 2017, is because I like the daily pay. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Um Sorry about that. Um so yeah. I don't know if y'all can still hear me. I was getting messages. But I'm still a little irritable and discontent, restless because I'm like, I do need something that's going to be stable. I definitely know I can't do floor nursing full time, especially not those 12-hour shifts, baby. That was my tail. But I talked to my best friend and she like, girl, look, no news is good news. She was like, because she's HR. My best friend has been HR forever. And her thing was, well, if he asks for your references, you pretty much good. Unless somebody else come in and knock it off the park. She said a lot of times they not asking for references if they're not interested in hiring you. But of course, in the job market, and sometimes it can be so flaky, you know. I guess I just need to have more patience. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I know I got a few things to do later, which is probably why it was beneficial for me to take a nap just to rest my brain. But I am going to go ahead. I'm gonna probably do two meetings today. It's one at 4:30, and then I'm gonna try to find one that starts at about 5:30, about 6 o'clock. Just because I just need to reset myself. Um, yeah, I really need to keep active. And then when I get back, I'll take care of everything I need to do as far as the household goes. And it's just um, I got some laundry and stuff to do, which the only thing I miss about not having my own house, and it's cool because I ended up getting rid of my washer and dryer, but it ended up going to someone who really needed it. So sometimes, it's a blessing sometimes to give up something that could benefit somebody else. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Even though my washer and dryer was not nobody's trash at all, it was very expensive and it was huge. Like my washer and dryer set was huge. I but my kid's father ended up donating it to someone else. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, because like I said, I keep getting messages. Um, and I'm like, shit, I still need to watch time hours, so why not? You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably gonna get up and head out. Let's see, what time is it? I'm gonna head out about 3:30. Yeah, I'm just restless, and I know what I need to do is go to a meeting. Um, yeah. Yes, and somebody, two people that had done hit me up on the back end about sour fruit. You know, I don't know if y'all seen my wall post this morning. And so when I got up this morning, um, I'll get up, wake up. I always check my notifications so that way I'm responding to people. Hey, Bird. That way I'm responding to people, communicating with people, because I want y'all to know that I do exist. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I'm a social media junkie. So I got up, got my morning routine, got my coffee, woke. Babe wasn't quite ready to get up, made sure my daughter was up, started her on getting ready for school, and I just so happened to jump on and see what was going on. The first thing I see is a thumbnail that says Art of War. I said, oh, this nigga be watching. So we know people watch and they be in the clouds and different things like this. This nigga watch me, y'all. First of all, if you go to my wall, if you was in my morning live yesterday, I talked about war. I talked about Kimmy talking about the art of war, different things like that yesterday morning. After I sat with well, no, that was Saturday. But yesterday morning, I talked about that in my live. Did I not? What does his thumbnail say? Come on, y'all. And the thing is, we keep telling y'all everything is recycled and repeat. It's repeated. It's repeated. You know, I go somewhere, I hear or see something, and then no, not with me, honey. Cause I read the book. I can pull out my hard copy. By Sun Tzu, I read the book. It's just crazy. And if y'all not peeping this shit, if y'all not really paying attention, it's crazy work. So then I'm like, okay, well, since we gonna put it out there, let's get it popping. Let's see if you read the book. Let's see if you gonna put your money where your mouth is, because I just did. Not only did I take a picture of the original copy of the book, I went and found the original picture online. I posted the timestamp next to it. You go to the live about the 33-minute mark. I start talking about war. And then I bring up Miss Just Kimmy, the beautiful and legendary. Sure did. And I purposely took a screenshot because sometimes the sour fruit like to change the names. Thank you, YouTube cameras. Sour fruit like to change the names. Fruit salad. Mine's is fruit salad. Fruit salad like to change the names to their titles throughout the day. Don't play with me. We already done peeped it. You might as well keep it, my nigga, and rock out. Cuss me out, talk shit, do what you gonna do. It don't matter. I ain't gonna hear it. Also, I want to let you guys know I posted a link. I'm not gonna do the unboxing yet because I don't want my pets to get to it. But one of my gardening friends did go to, and I just want to let y'all know it does work. It ain't no scam. They went to my wish list for the products that I want to set up my streaming area. They purchased it. I did receive it. It is really, really nice. Thank you so much to that person who shall remain unnamed. Anybody that donates to me, you always say that. Anybody that sends me cash apps, anybody that will in the future send me something, unless you choose to be named, you will not be named. This person will remain anonymous no matter what happens. And this person has developed a pretty consistent association, so definitely gonna keep them out the way. So just to let you know, I did reshare the list. inexpensive things on there. I think there's some things on there that's like maybe $5, $6, $10. And all of this is truly helping me just to be able to set up my area. When I asked everybody about the green screen, only one person said do the green screen during that live. Everyone else said do a setup, a decorative setup, and those same people said create a wish list. So that's what I did. I only did it because my my garden family told me to, because I was just like, I was going to wait. I was going to, just wait till I went back to work, because, the funds that I get now, I have to make sure I'm pouring into the house. And if any other thing I'm going to do is going to be maybe get my hair cut, or, make sure my nails is up to par, just because being a professional, being a person, I have to look decent, but I was truly going to wait. But like I said, people have been coming through. Someone's sent me something and I already received it, and it is so nice. Thank you so much, my secret garden family. So like I said, you can do that. You will not, as you can tell, I'm not gonna put nobody out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I don't have a reason to. I don't have a reason to exploit anyone, because I don't want to be exploited. So again, thank you so much to that beautiful queen, my rainbow sister. I really appreciate it. I got it. I'll be setting it up soon. YouTube cameras, I caught as much as your live as I could, sis. But I was out and about busy this morning. Oh, YouTube cameras, why you here, girl? Why? They end up calling me back from that job I went to this morning. They apologized, and they was like, the person that the manager that usually opens up that was gonna talk to me had an emergency. They left me a long drawn out voicemail. So I said, well, I'm not coming back up there. We just gonna have to do an over the phone interview. If you want to hire me as a PRN case manager, we're gonna do a phone interview. I said, because I've been there. He was like, no, I seen in a caller ID. He was like, that you call. He was like, so I can vouch for that. So I got an interview, over the phone interview tomorrow evening. Yeah, and I told him, I said, I don't want anything part-time. I said, I can do case management. I can do something where I'm working from home. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Fact, because if you remember, Fact did say it could have been traffic or something could have happened, and that's exactly what happened. So these two jobs is going to be like my sideline hustle to help ensure that I can still make the money that I'm used to making as a nurse manager. So, and then, like I said, the one job is PRN, it's floor nursing, but like I said, I know it's gonna be times I'm gonna go in there and she'll be like, you pick it up this weekend. I want you to do the admission audits, ABC, X, Y, and Z, and then the other job, it'll be strictly case management. And maybe, doing supervisor rounds at the homes and making sure the STNAs and home health aides is doing their jobs. Muffy, I see you. Hey, baby. Berber, hey, friend. Who else? Sarah Vine. Hey, y'all. Hey. I'm just trying to get my watch hours up, y'all. That is it, and that is all. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm just trying to get my watch hours up. And they keep saying, just keep going live. Just keep going live. Just getting the algorithm. That's why I'm doing this vertical. Plus, I think I only got like an hour and a half left on StreamYard. I don't know the limit on Restream, but I didn't feel like getting up. See, if I would have had to get up and get my computer and all that, I would have got distracted, because I got laundry and shit to do. I need to do laundry. I need to mop my floors again. I try to mop them at least every other day with having these animals. Most of the time, I do it. I end up mopping certain areas every day, but I know I need to mop, do my laundry. And there's something else I need to do in here. I forgot now, because that's just how my brain works. But like I said, I was just sitting here. It ain't really nothing going on. Shakim, that I know Shakim. I know where Shakim at. But let me tell y'all, that motherfucking concert. When I tell you that was some motherfucking that's what you call content right there. Okay? He brought content out. He brought, and I'm so proud of him. And I want to say, on behalf of the Den Ra Nation, me being one of the newest members, thank you guys for coming out and supporting him, because that's what we truly need in the sector. It gave me a little bit of that old-fashioned B sector feel. Remember when they used to do skits, and Rita used to dress up, and they used to do the different things? He brought that shit back to us and did it in his own way. He also was very talented with the music. I said, you know what, baby? I said, man, if the right producer get a hold of him, Man, listen. I was in the car, and I'm not lying. I'm in the car kicking it. People, you would have thought I was just like, the one guy was like, he asked me, but we were en route, and where we was, it was kind of a dead spot where I couldn't even pull over. Yes. Dude, like, he bobbing his head looking at me. I'm in the car having a blast, y'all. I could not wait to hurry up and get home and get on my computer. I enjoyed myself so much at Shakim's at his concert. I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you guys for going to just showing him support. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was such a breath of fresh air. Last night, the beef sector, let's see, yesterday ODS went live. Awesome. Of course, Ness kicked her shit off. Pizza went ahead and went live. YouTube cameras did a late day live. You guys are really showing up and showing out, and thank you for that. We want that. That's what we are looking for. We want to hear y'all, and it's hard for some of us because like with YouTube cameras, some of us work early in the day during the week. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go back to work, I can catch the replay. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes just being in that live it just be the shit, But like when I get off work, who live? When I was in Pizarro's chat and I was asking, like, the people are saying this. It be so many comments going. See, when I'm the moderator, when I'm the subby, I get to see comments the content creators may not always see. And that's the truth. And sometimes if a name isn't that popular or if a person don't drop down that much, their comments may not be seen. People are willing. And let me say this, because people's trying to say, well, Shakim going live, blah, blah, blah. When I asked the question about them going live and how much it would cost, and this is that and the other, I meant just in general. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, like, fuck it. I'm sick of this shit, or ain't nobody live right now. It's 6:30. I wonder how much I can send, or if I, because like a lot of us content creators have it to where you can post on our community walls. I might be on some messy shit one day, like, hey, I got 50 on the pot. Where King Roman News at? Where ODS at? Pizarro, get your ass up and go get your iced coffee. You know what I'm saying? Lady Nika, come on now. We miss you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, who else? Fucking Diva. Like, we still want to hear other people. Hey, a trucker's wife. And we don't mind supporting. You know what I'm saying? I asked for the subbies. I asked for the people in the back. Because I'm like, well, shit. Oh, we sick of this. We sick of this. We sick of going places and the same people being talked about. We sick of this. We sick of that. We sick of this. Well, what y'all gonna do about it? What we gonna do about it? We want the content back. What we gonna do about it? That's the question. YouTube cameras, do you disagree with that? Muffy, how you feel about that? Trucker's wife, how you feel about that? We want the content back. We want the people back. We want to see the names. We want to hear their voices. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do about it? And I mean, and it can literally be, so like, I could just be on some messy shit. Like I said, I'm like, I miss King Roman News. All right, let me community wall post, or let me send him, hey, boom, hey, we bored. What you doing? If you ain't doing that, and let me know how much it costs for us to get together and get you to go back live, or how much, you know what I'm saying? He might 150. Okay, can we get 150? Y'all want to hear so and so? Cause y'all be sitting up super chatting motherfuckers and complaining. Y'all be cash. You know what I'm saying? Can we get that popping? I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. But you know what? Sometimes I think because in my real world, because I have been a business owner, because I do support a lot of private businesses, I do give back. I buy body oils from local businesses. Even though I can make body butters, I buy body butters from local businesses. Sims, you ain't got to. But it is people that will. It is people that will. And you know who proved that? Shakim. Y'all seen that post he did And I think her channel got taken, right? YouTube cameras when Jackie made that post, and Jackie not monetized. So Jackie like, shit, y'all want me to go live? Send me $20. And guess what they did? They sent it. They sent it. They sent it. Didn't I think who else? King Roman News said it. I think a while back the people was looking for him. Sent them some change. The people will do it. It's not a thing that they won't do it. They will. But they just need to know that the person is going to do it. So my thing is, hey, what y'all going to do? See, I don't like to stay in the problem. I like to address the problem and then find a solution to the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I think. That's just how my mind processes. Because let's keep it real. In the real world, if you want Popeyes, you're going to go get Popeyes. Sims, I don't think so. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think so. Because it's a lot of people that do what they do and they're not monetized. And a lot of people make more doing it the way they do it than the people that's monetized. But look at all the content creators. Let's remove the B sector. Let's knock them out. Boom, they gone. Where else you be at? And they monetized. They promote their Zelle. They promote their Cash App. PayPal. Patreon. They got websites where you can subscribe for content. Remove the B sector. And think about it. And the people pay. Because they want to see the content. So like for me, I think when I think about that, I think bigger than B sector. And I think that's where maybe the disconnect is. Because when I think about it, I think bigger than the B sector. You following me, Sims? And I think that's probably where the people are raising their eyebrow like, huh, what the fuck you mean? Because it makes sense. But then it's like plays and this and it's not entertaining. But, right. But that's what I'm saying. I think bigger. See, I think longevity. I think bigger. I think about when I'm looking for something, if I'm thinking about entertainment and what people are saying, you know what I'm saying? I think about it from a bigger mindset. I think about it because I do be in other places and spaces. You see, when I'm at work, when I would be at work in the past, I would maybe listen to Pizarro or Treasure Lane. But most of the time when I'm at work, if I'm on YouTube, I'm probably watching T.S. Madison, Tasha K, The Star Report. I might go watch Sinetta and Be in the Clouds. It's a couple other people, like I told you, I just found out about Toot Reacts. Like, I be watching other people. Like if I show you between my two pages, where I have my spiritual page and this page, the subscriptions I have and the people I'm subscribed to, people would be shocked, like, damn, you into that? Sometimes I'll sit and I play guided meditation. If I'm feeling anxious at work, I'll play guided meditation. One of my favorite people to listen to is Jason Stevenson. I've been listening to Jason Stevenson since 2021. He monetized. And not only are these people monetized, you can buy a hoodie. You can buy a coffee mug. You can buy this, you can do that, you can, and he ain't the only one, but I prefer him. If you get what I'm saying. And you're right, Jay. They actually do research and invest in their platforms. These people play in each other's faces, in our faces. But Jay, I got to play devil's advocate. We are here for it. Now, whether you choose to financially support that person or not, I don't know. But I'm saying at the end of the day, we are subscribers in this sector and we are here for it. Am I right? Some of it. Yeah, because we all pick and choose where we going. But we here for it. So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm just simply saying, if you want the problem to be solved, you're going to have to put some effort in it. And in the beef sector, it's going to require financial effort. I mean, and it don't be like, shit, you $10. If this like what Jackie did the one day, send me $20. So hey, Vibrant, my, that's all right, Jay. I ain't always paying. Shit, I be sending coffee money and lunch money, baby. I don't be paying. I told y'all I got real bills. But it's people that make more than me. Like, and y'all also got to remember, it's people that make substantial amount of money in this sector. Only a few of us drop down. I got a nurse friend. She'll drop down every now and then. She a business owner. She get bread. She got like 2-3 business ventures going. That bitch ain't stunting no motherfucking money. She's over here. I'll never tell y'all who she is. I got another nurse friend. She a DON. Never knew until she said, when you start going live in the beef sector. Never knew. Shit. And I know she makes 6 figures. She drive a G-Wagon, baby. The only time she touched the inner city is when she coming to work. But since we know that's not going to happen, and as much as you can say that, we give them the reason to do the bullshit they do. Every time we drop down, every time we leave a comment, as much as our comments may make sense, as much as our comments may be within reason, even if we're not sending anything, that comment is still bringing them traction. It's all of that is still keeping them in the algorithm. And the crazy thing is, a lot of content creators don't even fuck with like all the people we like watching. They ain't even on here no more. The true talented content creators, they are migrating away. We say we miss them. They on Twitch. They on TikTok. The time it took them to get 5, 6, 7, 8 subscribers over here on YouTube, and then they got to give at one time it was 15 to 25, 35, now 45% away. They could go on TikTok and Twitch and get, and within 6 months, get the same amount of subscribers that it took them years to get over here. It makes sense. Why the fuck would I keep, you hustling backwards over here? For me, and my content is different though. I'm not a gamer. It's just certain things I don't do. So I can still utilize it. But don't think I'm not learning. Don't think that I'm not utilizing everything I learn. It's coming. The transition is coming. It's definitely coming. Prime example, I just got an email today from TikTok. A couple of things that I when I did my live, a couple of things that people had added to their cart was purchased. But see, Sounds, that's the thing too. So like, you don't hit links or nothing like that, right? I don't know. I'm gonna tell you something. They like to gatekeep things over here, and I've noticed that. Not only do they like to gatekeep things over here, you have to be you have to be vocal. You have to make your presence known. I mean, it's the beef sector, and some things can't be duplicated. I've never been on LSA. The only time I've seen anything from LSA is when it's been reshared or republished in a sense. But like for me, just going directly over it, I've never done it. Not because I got issues or I dislike it or anything. It's just I don't know. I mean, anything I ever needed to know from LSA, it was always put out here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think what bothers me, and y'all have heard me say this before, is some of these people got so much talent, and I wish they would just, they could still be here to kick it and have fun, believe this shit is fun, and not put so much time into this space and really hone in on their craft. Exactly, Jay. And that's the problem. So that's why I was like, yeah, I'm really not a beef sector content creator anyway. I'm really a subby and a supporter. So I can kind of stay in that lane. If something happened, I want to talk about it, I will. But there's so many other things I can talk about because I be all over the place. I be everywhere. Like I did a quick live this morning about my experience with this job interview situation. Sorry, y'all, my bad. So like, Sims, unfortunately, I see your comment. Unfortunately, everybody that was able to make those things happen left the sector. But I was saying, I said I'm not a beef sector content creator. I really just want to be a subby and a supporter. Because nah. And plus, for me, I don't drag. I can cuss you out, but I don't drag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not witty when it comes to dragging. Now I can make some shit poetic. I can say some things that'll hurt your feelings, but because of how I utilize my words, it's not going to appeal to the masses. Half of the people ain't gonna even understand this shit, and the other half is drunk and high. They ain't got time for my shit. Or they just feel like it's not going to be received because of the message that they trying to put out there. Now, binary, and binary is my prime example of why I'm saying this. Binary doing some content on limit. I've asked binary 4 times, and he said it again today. I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. I said, binary, I done told you 4 times, go read the doctor's opinion. I'm trying to get you where you need to be. I'm trying to help you, brother, Negro. I'm trying to get you where you need to be so you can connect the dots. But that ain't, he's like, well, I don't have time and blah, 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 woody woo. I'm like, bro, I just read it on a live. I just read the doctor's opinion on a live. I went and pulled out the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and told the story. And told the story where they say and how it works. They talk about the showman that wants to run the show. He wants to rearrange everything. I just talked about that. I can read that shit again in 5 minutes. Y'all got 5 minutes to spare, I'll pull it out. And then you can connect the dots to my nigga. You can connect the dots to this nigga. Give me a second. All I gotta do, because my big book stay ready. My big book stay right here, baby. I'm read this shit again for y'all. Y'all stay right there. I got 5 people in here. Just stay right there. Just stay right there. I'm about to read this shit again. But I'm not lazy, Sam. Stay there. I'm going to start right here. Alcoholics Anonymous, known as the Big Book. On page 60 in chapter How It Works. I'm going to start here. Just sit there. Being convinced we are at step 3, which is that we decided to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. Just what do we mean by that? And just what do we do? The first requirement is that we be convinced that any life run on self-will can hardly be a success. On that basis, we are almost always in collision with something or somebody, even though our motives are good. Stay there, y'all. Most people try to live by self-propulsion. Each person is like an actor who wants to run the whole show, is forever trying to arrange the lights, the ballet, the scenery, and the rest of the players in his own way. If his arrangements would only stay put, if only people would do as he wished, the show would be great. Everybody, including himself, would be pleased. Life would be wonderful. And trying to make these arrangements, our actor may sometimes be quite virtuous. He may be kind, considerate, patient, generous, and even modest and self-sacrificing. On the other hand, he may be mean, egotistical, selfish, and dishonest. But as with most humans, he is more likely to have varied traits. What usually happens? The show doesn't come off very well. He begins to think that life doesn't treat him right. He decides to exert himself more. He becomes, on the next occasion, still more demanding or gracious, as the case may be. Still, the play does not suit him. Admitting he may be somewhat at fault, he is sure that the other people are more to blame. He becomes angry, indignant, self-pitying. What is his basic trouble? Is he not really a self-seeker even when trying to be kind? Is he not a victim of the delusion that he can wrest satisfaction and happiness out of this world only if he manages well? Is it not evident to all the rest of the players that these are the things he wants? And do not his actions make each of them wish to retaliate, snatching all they can get out of the show? Is he not, even at his best moments, a producer of confusion rather than harmony? Our actor is self-centered, egocentric, as people like to call it nowadays. Done. Who the fuck am I talking about? 5 people in here. Who am I talking about? Who am I talking about? What up, Malik, bro? Alcoholic Anonymous first edition was written in 1939. Shortly after, they started the AA meetings and all that. The input was provided by Dr. Silkworth and a couple of other medical professionals and the first 100 men and women that were in Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what I want Binary to do right there. If Binary take that information and combine it with what he's trying to do, baby, y'all talking about some motherfucking content? Because he got it. But he ain't got the information to understand the alcoholic mind. The doctor's opinion. I just read the doctor's opinion. Let me tell you how many pages is in the doctor's opinion. Let's see where it starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's with me count both sides of the pages. That's when we can start on page, let's say 1 and 2. 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. But it's literally 4 single pages, front and back. I can read the doctor's opinion again. I just did a live on it. Read it front to back. But let me pull an excerpt from it real quick. Just give me 30 seconds. Here we go. In this statement, he confirms that what we who have suffered alcoholic torture must believe, that the body of the alcoholic is quite as normal as the mind. It did not satisfy us to be told that we could not control our drinking just because we were maladjusted to life, that we were in full flight from reality, or were outright mental defectives. These things were true to some extent, in fact, but to a considerable extent with some of us. But we are sure that our bodies were sickened as well. In our belief, any picture of the alcoholics which leaves out the physical factor is incomplete. The doctor's theory that we have an allergy to alcohol interests us. As laymen, our opinions as to its soundness may, of course, mean little. But as ex-problem drinkers, we can say that his explanation makes good sense. It explains many things for which we cannot otherwise account. Boom. What are we talking about? Losing teeth, bad skin, body ain't where it should be for a man that age with that weight and that stature. Come on now, quit playing with me. But my voice is small. That's what I want Binary to read. Because then it will open up for him the way to deliver the message. That's all I got to say on that. That is absolutely all I have to say on that. The big book talks about the phenomenon of craving. What is the phenomenon of craving? For an alcoholic, you can see a person get sober for 20 years and relapse. And then you be like, they tell us the phenomenon of craving is something that no one can describe. Why? Because once you take that first drink, you just get catapulted into this thing and you can't control it. You can't. I've been there. Here another excerpt go. For those who may not understand. This is in the chapter more about alcoholism. And it just starts with the idea that somehow, someday he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this delusion is astonishing. Many pursue it into the gates of insanity or death. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step in recovery. The delusion that we are like other people or presently may be must be smashed. We alcoholic men and women who have lost the ability to control our drinking, we know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but in such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control, which led in time to pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. We are convinced to a man that alcoholics of our type are in the grip of a progressive illness. Over any considerable period, we get worse, never better. Boom. I said, sorry about that, y'all. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Sorry, my baby daddy called me. So Sims, I was just saying that in my the live idea in regards to the one he copied now because he's doing a live about the art of war. I talked about, and I said, I don't mean to offend anyone, but the accountability, sometimes we have to make people accountable for themselves by rejecting them and telling them no. But they make excuses for them. Well, that's because I got a phone call. You know what sent me to AA? I could tell this story comfortably now. I was going through hell. I was just really raging. And my ex-husband told me, he said, I don't know what you gonna do, but at some point you're gonna have to leave. The kids can stay here. You're gonna have to figure it out. But that's not what sent me. What sent me was two things happened. I went to see my mother in the nursing home right before COVID, and then I hadn't seen her. And then one day we was talking, and she was like, "You know what? I don't want to talk to you right now. You don't make no sense." No, Jay, I got a phone call. I should be cool now. The third thing was I had did some crazy shit, and my best friend, she was just like, "I'm done." My best friend was like, "Look, I can't do this. I'm done. I don't know what you gonna do." And I sat for like 2 weeks on that. It was my best friend saying, "You know what, bitch? You don't make sense. Nothing you're doing is, what you mean you want me to take Jessica? What you mean? What are you talking about? What do you mean you praying on this and you doing all this crazy stuff?" They told me. Yeah, I got a phone call, y'all. They told me, I don't know how much y'all heard. I can repeat it. 3 people. They told me, they like, "Listen, I can't deal with this. I don't know what you want. I wasn't making sense. My thinking was off." You know what I'm saying? Like, I really was ready to send both of my kids. I was going to send my youngest daughter to my best friend because I just didn't know what to do anymore. I couldn't figure it out. I had called the job I was at and took a medical leave, made an appointment to see a psychiatrist. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna send my oldest daughter to her aunt or whatever. Okay, cool. Like, I just didn't even know what to do. And I'm telling y'all this, so the next time a motherfucker want to talk shit about somebody making a decision that's gonna protect their child, you might want to respect it, because there's so many people that don't do that. I didn't do it. I quit drinking. I want y'all to catch that, because I know the messages I put out ain't gonna always be heard to the masses right now. Sims, I hope that my little few minutes of testimony makes things make sense for you. Now, wouldn't you agree that I keep saying binary? Go read the doctor's opinion. Because he's trying to figure it out. He's trying to find a way to explain his logic and theory without being disrespectful or belligerent. But he can't put his finger on it. Why can't binary put his finger on it? Because the information he's looking for is not in those textbooks. See, in order to understand alcohol addiction and drug addiction, you have to do special training. You have to be put in that environment. It's not the same as treating someone with bipolar disorder, depression, or schizophrenia. Now, a lot of times those issues lead to drug and alcohol addiction. But once the person is relieved of that, then you can treat those. But you have to treat the physical. Yeah, you can add your opinion. You gotta type it though, because I'm on a vertical. Or whatever. I'm on YouTube Live. That's all I'm saying. But maybe I'm reaching too far when it's trying to get binary to kind of hone in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm reaching too far. It would help tremendously. Sims, you with me? We on the same page now. It would help tremendously. I can literally, hey, go to page so and so and read from this paragraph to that paragraph. See, truly, a person can read the first 164 pages in a short period of time. It's only 164 pages. It's 164 pages. Now, binary, I love you, bro. But this is why I'm saying, when you say you ain't got time, I don't understand it. You have time to sit and listen to that bullshit. You can take time off one night and take 45 minutes to read at least the doctor's opinion and get the foundation from a medical perspective. Y'all can look up Dr. William Silkworth if you want to. His name is Dr. William Silkworth. Hold on. Dr. William D. Silkworth. Let me pull it up. Make sure I'm telling you that. William D. Silkworth. It doesn't say, I think, here where he worked, but you can pull him up. Sure can. In the back of the book, I'm gonna pull one more thing out. I'm gonna read this, chop it up for a minute, and then I gotta get ready to go to my actual physical AA meeting. In the back of the book on page 569, this was written in 1944. They have something called, yep, he could do that too. It's called The Medical View on AA. Y'all ready? Since Dr. Silkworth's first endorsement of Alcoholics Anonymous, medical societies and physicians throughout the world have set their approval upon us. Following are excerpts from the comments of doctors present at the annual meeting of the Medical Society of the State of New York, where a paper on AA was read. Dr. Foster Kennedy, neurologist. This organization of Alcoholics Anonymous calls on two of the greatest reservoirs of power known to man, religion and that instinct for association with one's fellows. The herd instinct, that's what they're calling it. Hey Diva, have a wonderful day, boo. Thank you. I think our profession must take appreciative cognizance of this great therapeutic weapon. If we do not so, we shall stand convinced of emotional sterility and of having lost the faith that moves mountains without medicine to do little. Sorry, which medicine can do little. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to rush. Dr. G. Colby Collier, psychiatrist. I have felt that AA is a group onto themselves, and their best results can be had under their own guidance as a result of their philosophy. Any therapist or philosophic procedure which can prove a recovery rate of 50 to 60% must merit our consideration. Dr. Harry M. Thibault, psychiatrist. As a psychiatrist, I have thought a great deal about the relationship of my specialty to AA, and I have come to the conclusion that our particular function can very often lie in preparing the way for the patient to accept any sort of treatment or outside help. I now conceive the psychiatrist's job to be the task of breaking down the patient's inner resistance so that which is inside him will flower as under the activity of the AA program. Dr. W. W. Bauer, broadcasting under the auspices of the Medical Association in 1946 over the NBC network, said, in part, Alcoholics Anonymous are not crusaders, not a temperance society. They know that they must never drink. They help others with similar problems. In this atmosphere, the alcoholic often overcomes his excessive concentration upon himself. Learning to depend on a higher power and absorb himself in his work with other alcoholics, he remains sober day by day. The days add up to weeks, the weeks into months and years. Dr. John F. Stouffer, chief psychiatrist, Philadelphia General Hospital, citing his experience with AA, said, the alcoholics we get here at Philadelphia General are mostly those who cannot afford private treatment, and AA is by far the greatest thing we have been able to offer them. Even among those who occasionally land back here again, we observe a profound change in personality. You would hardly recognize them. The American Psychiatric Association requested in 1949 that a paper be prepared by one of the older members of Alcoholics Anonymous to be read at the association's annual meeting of that year. This was done, and the paper was printed in the American Journal of American Journal of Psychiatry in 1949. I'm done. Malik, you are absolutely right. The mentally disturbed mind is more than just alcohol. But in order to get the people to understand, the alcoholic, we got to go to where they teach us about alcoholics. Because you can't treat the problem without removing the substance, bro. And I can attest to that. The doctor's opinion tell you that it says specifically that a person must be sober before they can do any type of treatment, before anything can be heard. But the reason I want him to do it is because it'll help him be able to articulate what he's trying to say better. And Sims just said it. What she read goes deeper than alcohol, though. It's the exact direction binary is trying to lead us to. It perfectly broke down the behavior of what we've been witnessing for the past 2 years. That's all I'm saying. Let me reiterate. When people go to school for psychiatry and psychology, they focus on the mental defect part of it. See, when I went and when I decided to look for a therapist and a psychiatrist at the time, they told me to make sure whoever I go to has training and certification and experience in addiction and recovery. Because trying to talk to someone who may just understand the baseline of alcoholism or drug addiction, they're not going to be as effective as someone who has been trained, which is why we see so many programs now, even with people who have gotten sober. And my brother is actually one of them. He's in school now taking care of his business, and shout out to him, to become a counselor, a drug and alcohol counselor. um I ain't gonna be doing much because I gotta get ready to go because I'm going to this meeting in a minute, and I like to get there at least 20 minutes early. So I was just feeling restless and irritable, and I needed to talk. um so that's why I'm saying that little information right there. um I'm telling you, it'll solidify his thinking and talking points. It will solidify his thinking and talking points. It'll give him a foundation to lead on. He's trying to break down the mental aspect of it. You got to break down the addiction aspect first, because remember I just said it's a lot of people that we see with mental health issues and alcohol and drugs. It's just that self-medicating form of it. But because we don't have the ability to control our levels and we don't understand. See, AA has gotten so good with it. I don't have it here with me right now, but it's buried in the amounts of books and literature that I have. Where they break down the treatment centers, depending on where you go, will break down the chemical aspect of it, the dopamine, the serotonins, all those things. I try to stay layman's. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay layman's. Because if I go too far, people be like, huh? But it breaks it down, y'all. Why? The Big Book told us in 1939, it's mental and physical. It's mental and physical. The Big Book breaks that down. So when I sometimes talk about what I'm talking from a professional standpoint and a personal standpoint. I'm talking about it from being a person that's, even when I was still actively drinking, I knew about AA and stuff because of my father and different things like that. And I had met people along the way, and I just learned, which is why I was able at some point to conclude that my mental health would never be right as long as I kept drinking. I just told y'all I couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on with me. I didn't lose my job. I had my kids, all that shit. I couldn't figure it out. I had been going to therapists and trying medicine and this and that and this and that for decades. And then August 8th, I said, you know what? I got to quit drinking. And if I can just not drink for one day, then I know I can do this. No, they favor it, but they never said you have to go. Malik, if you actually talk to people that have over 40 years of recovery and sometimes older, um, or listen to some of the old stories, a lot of them detox at home. They would slowly wean alcoholics off alcohol. So instead of letting them drink a whole pint, they would give them a shot twice a day. That's why they know medicine works. They would give them shots. They would give them different types of syrups. They would pump them full of like, sugar and shit. That's why you see them being addicted to coffee and cigarettes and shit. Right. So they never said that you had to go to treatment. They just said the only way you can reach a person is when their mind is clear. When their mind is clear. When they're sober enough to be able to have a conversation. But they never said you had to go to treatment. I never went to treatment. I went to AA. I detoxed on my couch with high chew candies, peppermints, Benadryl, Tylenol, Motrin, and coffee and water. Yes, I did. Sure did. Now, is that medically safe? No. We know alcohol detox is probably the most deadliest forms of detox out there. People like to think it's detox off heroin. No, you just get sick as fuck. Detoxing from alcohol can cause seizures and strokes and many other things, respiratory distress. And we know drug overdose can cause those things. People see that detox from like crack cocaine and heroin, it makes them very sick. But detoxing from alcohol is the deadliest one. Now, do I recommend that? No. But if a person says I'm going to do this, then make sure you got some people with you. If you say I'm not going to treatment, or you just want to go to the hospital and go home, even if you don't want to go to a treatment center, I detoxed at home. I would definitely say them first 7 days you need to seek medical treatment, and you need to have someone that's going to be with you and watch over you. My ex-husband actually took 2 weeks off during my detox time. He did nothing but wake up and made sure I was good, because he, as a medical profession, understood what detox is. He's had to administer Narcan before. Everybody don't get as blessed and lucky. I would never tell anyone you don't have to go to treatment because before you go to treatment, you have to detox. Some places have both, and some places have you go to detox and then treatment. Detox, it depends on where you go in the process, but you really should be observed. And if you can't afford to do it at go or whatever, definitely make sure you got some people with you. Make sure you at least go to the doctor and say, I want to quit drinking. See what your doctor gonna say. Don't worry about the medical bills. You can pay that shit later once you get done recovering and get your life back on track. A lot of times they'll set you up. Like if you go to the hospital here, they'll treat you and then they'll say, hey, we have these programs that assist you with paying your medical bills. They'll help you get on Medicaid. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about the money aspect of it. Yeah. Damn it, I gave y'all an hour. Ooh, baby, this Pepsi good. That's my guilty pleasure. But so yeah, that's it. That's all I had. I just wanted to talk. I brought up my point. Like I said, you can. I mean, I was just making a suggestion. I think it'll really drive home what he's trying to do, or at least help him be able to have some driving points to help him explain the mental defects. Because people say, I've seen people say, oh, he not alcoholic, he be fake drunk. Nah. Even with some of your alcoholics, sometimes they'll go out and kick it and they don't get drunk. They drinking. They don't always get drunk. Am I lying, Malik? I done went out plenty of times and they getting drunk. You know, or they don't get drunk in front of you. They'll hang out. He gonna chill because he in control. I just told y'all what the big book said about the actor. So mom tripping. They noticing. So I'ma just drink a little bit. I ain't gonna drink that much. Have y'all noticed the lives is getting shorter? If you notice the lives is getting shorter, type one. Because although I'm not subscribed to him no more, because I watched him so much, he still pop up in my algorithm. Because I remember I gave him a lot of time. Muffy said one, lives getting shorter. Or even the conversations in the live, I'm hearing the conversations have changed a little bit. And then when he's not as drunk, he's super irritated. Right? I'm just saying. Because that's what he doing. Now he ain't on live getting drunk all night yelling and hooting and hollering. Instead, what he doing is he's controlling the situation. No, look, so when it popped up yesterday, this morning, it was like, I'm like, damn, that's on a Sunday? Nah, it ain't the same old content. That nigga trying to control some shit. He's the actor. He's switching his brands. He doing all that shit. But you know what? The big book tells us we're not the arbitrator of what other people do. And the only person can identify as an alcoholic is the person themselves. And on that note, I'm about to get ready to go and head to this AA meeting. This meeting I'm going to reread out of the book. It's like, as AA went on, they started offspring in books. So they have this one book by Bill. It's called As Bill Sees It. So he gives us a point, and then we read it, and then we discuss whatever the subject is that they pick in. So I'm gonna go to that one. I like to I actually prefer meetings where everybody get to comment over meetings where they give leads, especially because sometimes it gives depending on what type of AA meeting you go to. If it's more of an old fashioned structured ones, the newcomers can't talk. They do a lead, and then the people that got time, a year or more or 5 years or more, can stand up and get their comments. But when you go to the meetings where maybe the lay person would envision them sitting in a circle. Now we sit in rows or depending on where you at. But it gives everyone an opportunity to talk, which is very important for the newcomer. The newcomer has more to talk about than I do. I mean, I can tell them what the big books say. I can tell them to get a sponsor. I can tell them to work the 12 steps. I can tell them to study this book and keep reading the backstories and get phone numbers. I can tell them my experience and my strength and give them hope. I could talk to them, but I prefer them to talk to me. Friday night, I went to a meeting and it was a dude in there, and he got to get his paper signed, but he had a serious question. He said, the holidays is coming up, and this is a very popular question. It didn't affect me as much as because of my background. When it comes to holidays, I don't go gung ho because there were times where I just didn't celebrate them. So although I'm neutral with them now, like, please, I've never even owned a Christmas tree as an adult. I have never put up a Christmas tree in any place I lived, except for when I was living. Me and my ex-husband was living together. He would put it up. I don't own a Christmas tree. So he asked, how do I get through the holiday? I'm going to leave y'all with that. If you think about this and you take some of this with you, that man, and I've heard this question hundreds of times. I can honestly say with all the meetings I've been to, whether it's physical or Zoom, I've heard this question hundreds of times. How do I get through the holiday and stay sober? My answer is get phone numbers, align yourself with sober people, Make sure you got a sponsor. Make sure if you hang out, you hanging out with sober people. If you go to a family function, take a sober person with you. Some people say make sure you just go kick it for a little while and then leave. But my suggestion is always don't go. Don't go. They will be fine. Don't go. And so one dude was like, "Yeah, I just told him I had to go to work." He said he went to hang out with his people. He was like, "I just told him I had to go to work." And some people were like, "Well, I wouldn't lie." And I'm like, you know what? We lied to drink. We lied when we drank. Called off work, hungover. I got the flu. You take your ass to the doctor. You sick as fuck, but it's a hangover. It ain't the flu. You know, people done lied to get high. Lie to stay sober. Oh shit, man! I picked up overtime. Oh man, the wife, my dude was like, "No, we gonna do something at home. We gonna chill at home. I just ain't got it. Shit. I'm doing something with the kids. You lied to get drunk and get high. Don't go. Whatever you choose to do. But what I will say is, do not try to convince them. Do not try to bring them into your world. Because see, when people want to kick it and party and have fun, that's what they're going to do. And if they used to you doing it, they're going to be used to trying to persuade you to do it. Remember we talked about peer pressure in adults? And exactly, because I was just about to say that. With the last thing this one dude that I went to school with said, he said, I got drunk for every occasion, all occasions. I got drunk on every day that ended with a Y. I don't give a damn if somebody was born, if they died, if I had to shit, whatever. I just got high because I wanted to get high. But that concept is not going to be registered for a newcomer. Just don't go. Yep. And like Malik said, holidays are just regular days. Hopefully this little piece of life was entertaining. If you know someone that may be struggling, you can tell them to call 211. On some of my lives and in past, especially my old lives, I always posted links to different Zoom things and different things you could do if you are uncomfortable with trying to take the first steps in recovery. They still have active Zoom meetings for AA, NA, and CA for sure. You can just start there and see if it's something that you're interested in. Again, if you need the detox, please seek medical attention. You do not necessarily have to go to a 90-day treatment center. Sometimes that don't fit in our lives. That's why the options for Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous and Cocaine Anonymous or whatever anonymous you want to go to are there, because it still gives the same foundation, but it still allows you to have your life. I'm about to get ready to go out here and meet and greet and talk with some alcoholics. I will catch y'all out in the YouTube streets. Maybe not. I don't know. But, y'all have a great day. I love y'all. Enjoy this day. Go look in the mirror. Give yourself a hug and tell yourself you love you. Because if don't nobody else tell you they love you, you got yourself to tell you that. All right, y'all. Peace.